In my previous speaking assignment, I discussed the negative effects of animal testing and how it affects the animals and the humans are also used, that also have the drugs used on them. In this speech, though, I will be speaking of a particular research center, and that is the Biomedical Primate Research Center in the Netherlands. This just so happens to be Europe's largest primate animal testing research center in Europe. They recently, the people of Netherlands and the people around the center have been protesting and have been trying to get the research center to stop testing on the animals. The animals that are mainly used in the center are monkeys and various types of monkeys, and these monkeys are kept. In the beginning of the video, it showed a very large cage, like you would see at a zoo. It had trees and everything else that a monkey could hang from, or like toys. And this was on the outside of the center, so the people could probably see this from here. And in this cage, these monkeys were kept so they could breed. Though many of the males were sent after breeding. They were sent to another center or another location so they could breed with other animal testing centers. And they're separated from their offspring, and their offspring don't interact with their parents. And after this, some of the animals are taken into testing for their health. And if an animal proves healthy, then they are tested on. And in the test, they are injected with HIVs and other dangerous diseases. And I find this very ironic because they take the healthy animals and inject them with a deadly disease to make them unhealthy. Secondly, before the testing begins, the animals are taken into small cages about 2 foot by 4 foot maybe. They're really small, and these animals have no room. So they're used to going from this really big cage to a small confined area. While these animals are in this small confined area, they're interacting with humans so they can make the animals more social, and these animals are now being interacted with humans, and it just makes it easier and and these animals will be less resistant when it comes to the actual testing. So when it comes to testing, a scientist goes and injects it with a numbing painkiller, basically. The animal is injected with the numbing medicine, and within a minute or a couple of seconds, the animal is knocked over, and he's still alive, but he's basically unconscious, and he's really slow, and he's moving really slow, and it's basically as if he's a doll. From there, the animal is taken to a confined area where everything is closed. The doctors have masks and everything. They're very careful. And the animal is injected with an HIV or another deadly disease. In the video, it was very hard to watch because the animal began drooling. The animal had snot coming out of his nose, and he looked awful. The animal was then the animal had been affected with the deadly virus and could not go back with the other animals after that test. So they put him in solitary confinement. This part is kind of strange and kind of ironic because the scientists take the animal and put him in solitary confinement, but then decide it is too inhumane to keep him there for a long period of time, so they end his life. They put him to sleep. This is strange because it's okay to inject him with an HIV, numb him, put him in a small cage, but after they put him in a solitary confinement, it's too much. Um, Most of the time when these animals are being tested on, the doctors take them into an autopsy, and they try to figure out what happens and why it's so, and why, what they can do to prevent it from happening to a human who is injected with HIVs or who had HIVs. It's strange because they use monkeys, but monkeys are not as similar to humans as they would like. So these monkeys are being injected with this, and they take these other drugs, and it proves like healthy. The monkeys are healthy again. They start being basically they're given drugs that are treatable or curable to the disease that they have. But when these drugs and these cures and treatments are taken to a human, 90% of the time it proves ineffective. So 90% of the time, animals are being injected, numbed, killed, and then sometimes healed. 90% of the time, it works on animals and fails on humans. So basically, these animals are being tested on for no reason at all. Lastly, I would like to speak about the way that this can change. In the video I watched, the doctor presents a small dish-like piece of plastic, and there's 96 holes in the dish. Basically, the doctor goes on to explain that they can recreate organs, and well, not organs, but cells from the organs of the monkeys, and put them into these holes in the dish, where they then could inject the HIV or anything else in there, and you could see how it affects them just the same way. This is proven to be more effective, and it also proves to be 100% pain-free for the animals, because they use no living primates. So the testing center in Europe and testing centers around the world should consider this alternative and should put it in effect immediately, so that the animals no longer have to lose their lives.